in the who put in the collaboration space? Oh, okay, never mind. Let me delete this one first. This one, whose one? Don't know whose one. Hey, got answer here. I don't want to delete first. Anyway, there's a group discussion here, right? In the collaboration space, right? Because I don't have the luxury of time to let you discuss the difference between free market and plan. Normally, this one will come out. So you'll discuss yourself online. Whatever you think is correct, you write inside. So you all can add on inside the OneNote anytime you like, right? I will check in the next class. So it's like the virtual discussion, but you don't need to even do face-to-face, right? You can just do, okay, if you feel like, oh, this is the definition, because I never give definition, right? You all go and find yourself, Google, do discussion, ask ChatGPT, right? Copy paste inside. Okay, each of you, if you contribute 2 or 3, then it should be very full already. Here, make sense? In group discussion, it's also in your manual actually. Then you can write, after I discuss with you all, you can write down right inside your manual, group discussion for chapter 1. Ownership of assets, find yourself. Resources allocation is the one that you all always do wrongly. Let me just write here what I want. When we ask you how the country allocate resources, it only asks you for 3 stuff, right? Asks you for 3 stuff. What are the 3 stuff? You have to write what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce. All right, you have to write these 3 in both country. This question I always ask in my tests. Always people simply write because they don't know what to write. Right? Your seniors always write wrongly. Because they don't know they have to answer these 3 questions when I say how a country or how a government allocate resources. Then they write, simply write, oh, they allocate, blah, 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 whatever they like. They say write until a lot. That's all, right? You have to answer these 3 questions. Economic objectives, you have to find yourself. Advantages, disadvantages, I gave you a few. 5 more, right? 5 more. I only gave you a few. Okay, I want to see this in the collaboration space. You will see your OneNote, there's a collaboration there. Chapter 1, don't touch the rest. I feel someone accidentally put inside here. Don't know whether it's me or not. But you just focus on the discussion. Discussion, you'll share. The rest, you all don't touch. I feel it's someone's answer they accidentally put here. Okay? Okay, make sense? Free market plan economy. Actually, I can find who is that. I don't want. Right. Now we will move on to chapter 2. Chapter 2, I will start to send some notes to you as well. Currently, it's empty in your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. In your OneNote, it should be empty, but you already have your manual anyway. I don't feel there's any issue. This one will take some time to distribute the notes. Okay, I will let it do its work. Good job. So now we move on to chapter 2. Chapter 2, just now already open up chapter 2. You can start to download the chapter 2 content, PowerPoint slides. Have I started recording? Because last week I forgot to record the second session. Right, but I make up for you. I already put another group recording inside your files tab. So you can go to the general channel files tab to look at the second session if you want. Right. So we will talk about demand, consumer behavior, supply, market equilibrium, and elasticity. Elasticity, we already cut down the syllabus, so it's beneficial for you all. So because this is the last chapter, we are going to use around 3 weeks, maybe 4. Depends on the progress. We cover all this stuff, right? Don't take this lightly. Chances are you may already encounter this before, but I will give you another angle, another layer, another perspective, because you are now pre-U. You are not secondary school, right? So still pay more attention, right? Rather than paying more attention on your fingers, please pay more attention on the board. Okay? Understand the law of demand. Now this is what makes the economy give you. You want pedicure? I give you pedicure. You want manicure? I give you manicure. Right? You want Hai Di Lao? Hai Di Lao free manicure, pedicure. These are the free market system. What you want, right? They give you. Okay. Understand the law of demand, supply, and law of diminishing marginal utility. This one may be new for all of you. Distinguish between change in quantity demand, change in the demand, change in quantity supply, and change in supply. Analyze the determinants of demand and supply. We will maybe stop at here only today. Change in quantity demand and change in demand depends on our progress. The rest we will move on to the next class. Next class is Friday. Friday. Is it Friday? For your Thursday. So Thursday you have to refer back to the Friday class. I'll give you a recording. Right, because we have 2 minutes program with this, seriously. So you watch YouTube. Another class yesterday on have to look at this class for their recording. Because I cannot cover based on different case. Explain the meaning of market equilibrium and how the price adjusts in market bring. All this will maybe in your Thursday class recording. Right? So let me introduce you to the market first. What is the market? Market must have a demand and supply. The market must have what? What is demand? Buying side. What is supply? Selling side. That's all this market. Right? Demand normally we use consumers, consumption to represent. Supply we usually use producers, suppliers to represent. All right. So we will move to demand first. The difference between demand and quantity demanded is one, listen closely. One is the entire curve. Demand. Another one is 1 point. Quantity demanded. Right? Quantity demanded definition and demand definition. The main difference is, James, can you step your friend? Oh, today James is very busy. James here have to step in. Oh, sorry. Right. Yeah, pay attention. Finish off your copy right now. Finish everything. So that you have more caffeine in your body. Right. Finish all. Now, demand is the willingness and ability. What's the difference between demand and quantity demanded? Quantity demanded is the amount of willingness and ability. Can you see the difference? Cannot. This one is the willingness and ability of buyers, because it's demand of buyers, to purchase different quantities at different prices. Quantity and prices means what? Plural or singular? Oh, you cannot answer this. Plural or singular? Plural means more than one. Why more than one? Now I'll write in your chapter 2 whiteboard. Take note. Oh, I haven't sent. Oh, you can click. Right. So this one is lecture 8. This is for chapter 2. It will be in chapter 2 whiteboard. Make sense? Make sense? Right? Demand is this curve here. Demand is the curve. One curve can have many points. That's why different quantities, different prices. Make sense? Make sense? This is demand. Then what's quantity demanded? Quantity demanded is this amount, willingness and ability to buy at a particular price and amount. Is it singular or plural? Singular. Singular means what? One only. So where is quantity demanded inside the demand curve? Quantity demanded is this point. One of the point is quantity demanded. One demand curve can have many quantity demanded. Makes sense. This is the difference. Any question? Of course, we have other differences to differentiate them in my slides. We'll go slowly. Right? Another thing is ceteris paribus. You know what ceteris paribus? Ceteris paribus, if you know, is a Latin phrase. It shows what? Yeah. Everything else stays the same. This is the assumption we make, right? Because we are social science, we are partial science, partial arts, right? We always assume ceteris paribus because we cannot, if we change everything, we cannot measure anything. So what we do, for example, let's take, don't take econs. Let's take science, take physics. Assume you want to throw a ball to test gravity, right? One is a basketball. Another one is a ping pong to test gravity. Okay? What do we assume is the same? What assumptions are the same? Right? Correct or not? I purposely draw the same color, same person. What's the meaning of that? It must be same person. Assume they're same person. Right? So we assume height is the same. We assume the person is same. Right? What else? We assume same. What else we assume same? The force, the force he throw, right? Right? We assume what? The wing angle is the same, right? The wind force, the make sense? Make sense? These are the experiment we do, stress variables. We assume others the same. Then only we can test the weight of these two, how fast and how slow. Make sense? Same for econs. Econs, we also assume stress variables. If we want to measure the price, we assume the same. If we want to measure demand, we assume others stay the same. Something like that, okay? Now we move on to the law of demand. The law of demand says that, listen closely, when the price of the good itself increases, we use what word? Quantity demanded or demand. We use what? Quantity demanded or demand in my slides. Yeah. Quantity demanded. The price of the good itself, the quantity demanded will decrease. Ceteris paribus. When the price of the good itself decreases, what would I use? Quantity demanded or demand? Quantity demanded will increase. So the price of the good itself is always associated with quantity demanded. You cannot use the word demand. Makes sense? Because the price of one good itself will only affect one point to go up and down. It will not affect the entire curve. All right. So this law of demand says that, let me show you one more time. Law of demand is a common sense, right? It's a common sense. Why I say that? Because when the price goes up, you'll buy more or buy less? Buy less, right? So I use quantity demanded will go down. This is how we represent QD, quantity demanded. All right. If the price goes down, buy more, buy less. Quantity demanded will go up. This is the law of demand. Why is it a law? Why we use the word law? Oh, you haven't wake up. Very slow response. Jing Xuan? Who is Jing Xuan? Jing Xuan, why we use the word law? Is this a regulation? Huh? Not because it's common sense, because it's already proven to be true. Proven to be true. Anything in concepts, in subject, in whatever subject, as long as proven is already true, is law. It's a law. Okay? So this is already proven is true. Okay. Now the law of demand, because of the arrows, the opposite direction, as you can see here. When the price goes up, the quantity demanded goes down. Opposite direction, right? Okay, right or not? Yes, huh? When the price goes down, quantity demanded goes up. This shows negative relationship. This is how I write my negative. Take note. I use a minus VE to represent negative relationship. Negative relationship we have either inverse or negative to represent. It will have a downward sloping demand curve like the picture here. It will have a downward sloping because it's negative relationship. Right? That's why when you draw demand, always draw down. We draw from up to down, from top to bottom. Right? Okay, so far. Can Okay, this is to show using the table. This is known as the table of demand, a demand table or schedule. Right? It shows what? When the price goes up, good or bad? Price goes up is good or bad? Bad for consumers. So I use red color. What happened to the quantity demanded? We observe in the real world is true. It will decrease. Right? When the price goes down, good or bad? Good, or? I use green color to represent. Right? What happened to quantity demanded? Go up. This is known as the demand schedule or demand table. Okay? So the law of demand says that we have to put our price on the vertical axis, quantity on the horizontal axis. Later you have to draw this, and the demand curve is downward sloping. Okay? And there are two types of demand curve. One is individual and market. We mostly focus on market demand because individual demands only means that you alone, right? Like Ian bought a coffee. How much is the coffee? Huh? 490. 490. 490. For what coffee is that? Something. The chunk very hard for my international student. Coffee, all right. Coffee ice. If it's 24 ringgit 90 cents, will you buy? No. So this is individual. I only ask one guy. Individual. Makes sense. Right? It will decrease the amount of coffee if 24 ringgit 90 cents. Right? Market demand is where we talk about all the buyers in the market regarding one product only, which is coffee, for example. It's still one product only. That's why it's micro. Make sense? Example, Mr. Woody like to eat burger. Right? This one is individual. We asked Mr. Woody, at this price, how many burger you eat? He said 13. At this price, how many burger you eat? He said 7. Like that. This is individual. Right? Then we also ask Mr. Bus the same thing. At this price, how many you eat? At this price, how many you eat? This is individual. Right? But when we want to add up them together, it will become market demand curve. What do we add? Do we add the price or quantity together? If we want to add them together, do we add the price or quantity? If you look at this, we add the quantity together. All right, don't add the price together. Otherwise, your vertical axis don't know how to draw how long. Right? We always add the quantity together to get the market demand curve. Make sense? Okay. These are the three demand curve. This one is Woody demand curve based on the price and quantity he want to consume. This one is Bus. This is still individual. Okay. And this one is market demand. This one is based on we add them together. Make sense? This is market. We focus on market demand. Any question? Okay, your turn. Ladies and gentlemen, please tell me what is wrong with my diagrams. 3 diagrams are also wrong. They are straight line. Straight line means wrong. Remember that. Write down. If you draw a straight line curve, means wrong. Unless you are sketching. If you follow the table, you will get non-linear curve. Anyone don't know what's linear and non-linear? Do I need to do a revision for maths? Don't need, huh? Why straight line is wrong? Straight line means I never follow the scale. The mathematical ratio scale is not there. I cannot straight away plot the tables based on these numbers. I cannot straight away take 4, 10, 8, 4 like that to plot. I need to do it 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 10, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Makes sense? Or 3, 6, 9, 12. This one is the ratio that you need to follow. Otherwise, you will always get a straight line. Then I'll minus 1 or give you wrong. Okay, now your turn, ladies and gentlemen, turn to your manual. What page is that? Page 40. Do the table on top. Page 40, table on top. Do the table and then draw the diagram. The diagram, you have to put price on the vertical axis, quantity on the horizontal axis, and what is the product name? It's no longer a country name. What's the product name? Grapes. You have to put grapes here. Then you do your normal ratio. All right. Then only you draw. Remember, P is vertical axis, which means P is Y. Right? This is Y. And this is X. So it means if you do this practice, this one, right? After I get this price and I give this quantity, I want to plot below. You must remember this is X and this is Y. So my coordinate should be X4, like that. Makes sense. Then you plot. And don't use market demand as your horizontal axis. Use Q for your horizontal axis. Okay? Okay, let's start doing this while I continue to check your work. Just like go like your work. Oh, you like to do it? Robin, we do. Don't we? Huh? No, the different thing. You know the do wrongly, man. Huh? How you know? How you know it's correct? I never said correct. You say correct. We say correct. We do. Okay, give me this table, you do this. Wait, you use my PowerPoint one and do the table I want to see. Use this one to do the market demand. I see whether you know how to do or not. No paper. Draw somewhere. I give you paper. Hey. See what type of excuse you have. You open it, you wanna. I give you the dirty one, the one damp with the water one. Or the old one. Wow, not bad. Oops, I even tear it. Give you the old one. Huh? Precious thing. Control. I think the thing I will check this paper whether that's done. Done? You do? You know, you didn't bring your balloon. You just bring you up. Do you have a balloon?
Yeah. I should have a balloon, but I
Is it? Oh, then I rather you know, I was just expecting to. I checked yours already. Yours never checked. Check yours. Or you didn't even have balloon. You look at the diameter of the drop. The diameter of the drop plus the draw. It's not close. And that's it. Only draw the individual. Only draw market demand. Portfolio is focused on market demand. But no shape one. No, Yes.
You want us to do the job.
You want to do you have a first case to do? What no? You want me to show you this, is it?
For one slide.
One for my slide now, why?
One is to make the paragraph the value.
Yeah, 2 edits. If you're good, then 2 edits is good enough to draw a demand curve. Yeah. Depends on whether you know how to do. 2 edits and 5 edits, they are the same. Make sense or not? Sense or not? This is how I try and tell before. Yeah. Not really. We put say down this one. Your day. Your day also. Show me your one. Your day also. I mark your attendance reason. What's your name? What? HD. What time you arrive? HD. Oh, what time you arrive? Huh? What time? Huh? 9:15. Wow. My God, I don't know what to say. Hi. Hi, I hope this is a socialism country right now. Then I can carry a gun when I teach students. Right? Would you agree? Come, show me your one. Country name not there. Okay. Then the ships are not there. You never know the ships. Ship in, ship out, the one following the question. If you don't know how to draw. If you don't know how to draw, ask me. I will start my game channel group. Maybe next week. Do you know what game channel group? I really awesome. I have it. What would you about this? Yeah, that's nothing. It's all minus one. English criteria. Other name like even you put L now, put a COD or can English man, put US man. Why so boring? Your line don't have the unit sound. Minus one. 9 what? 9 what? You also don't know how to do. Same one. But we need to discuss with you all. Let me check everything's perfect. Labels. The point not so important. I will look at the important figure. Are you done, ladies and gentlemen? Can I continue? Link all the points together. Link all the points together. Anyone get straight line? I have to redo. If you get straight line, it shouldn't be a straight line. It should look like a curve, right? Even you use ruler to connect, it should look like a curve. Anyone get straight line? I give you 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes to complete the demand diagram, please. This question. Hang on. Yes, one. Yeah. This is correct. It shouldn't look like a straight line, right? It should look like that. Show how yours. Yeah, doesn't matter. Ladies and in the real world, right? The demand curve is not straight line. First of all, it's not linear. But not linear also means that it can be parabola, hyperbola, and so on. Make sense? So it can be like roller coaster curves, it can be whatever curves, black curve, band curve, whatever. Right? Make sense? Make sense? In the real world, if you draw straight line in the real world, don't tell you come from Mr. Nathan class. Right? Mr. Nathan don't know your. Oh, sorry, I changed my name, not Mr. Nathan, Nathienz. Don't say I come from Mr. Nathan's class. Okay, continue more. Okay, only the strip is not there. You draw the strip inside. For example, this one, for example, this question, like, if the country declare war, what happens? Go inside. War. This one is another fight. This one is what do I see something? Can we give out something like this? The ship don't know the ground. Are you done? Can I move on? Are you done? Done or not? Demand curve. Anyone don't know how to draw? Two. Check one more first. One more. Two. One. Two more. The PPC label don't label for the axis. Axis is only for the numbers. Right, input you are. Label here, how do that one is only for numbers. Okay, now let's say ladies and gentlemen. The next step, after you draw the, hey, where's my stylus? After you draw this, right, ladies and gentlemen, after you draw this, it will look like something. Wait, this one is whose one? My one. Yeah. After you put grapes here, you put the price here, you put the quantity here, it will look something like that. Right? The last step, ladies and gentlemen, write down. I need you to put a label on the right hand side bottom edge of the curve. Put D. Label D. D stands for demand curve. Okay, once you're done drawing, put a D there. Starting from today, every demand curve must have a D label. Okay, make sense? Yeah. Some senior fail because they forgot to put a D label. Right? Okay. Because they missed too many labels, minus too many marks. That is for the demand. Move on to the next one. Just now I already mentioned about this. But this one, because it's very important, most of seniors won't do wrongly, so we have to repeat many times. Right? The only determinant, do you know what's determinant? What determinant? The cost, the factor. The only factor that affects quantity demanded movement along the curve is one factor. One factor. That's why there's a singular there. Determinant, not determinants. Right? Determinant is price of the good itself. Only the price of the good itself will affect the quantity demanded. When you read the question, when you write your essay, when you write a short response, you must write price of the good itself increase or decrease, then quantity demanded increase or decrease. Cannot write quantity, you cannot write demand, cannot write demanded, you must write quantity demanded. You cannot just write price. You cannot just write good itself, you must write price of the good itself. Makes sense? Because price of the good can mean other stuff. Price of the good itself will only mean that stuff. For example, right? However, if you are talking about demand, look at the keyword now is demand. And determinants is plural. There are many factors that affect demand. One factor, write down, one factor affect quantity demanded only. One factor affect quantity demanded only. Many factors affect demand. Do you get me? No phones. Do you get me or not? One factor affect quantity demanded only, but many factors affect demand. When you write the factors, you have to look at what factors is it. Then you write whether it's quantity demanded or demand. Right? If it's the price of the good itself, write quantity demanded. If it's other stuff like price of other goods, they are demand. Right? We are going to cover this one by one. Price of substitutes, price of complements, normal good, inferior goods, income, preference, consumer taste, change in population, advertisement, others. They are all going to affect demand. Right? For change in quantity demanded, we call this movement along the curve. Movement along the curve. Right? It can only move up or down. Okay? Which means inside the demand curve, this is the demand curve. Normally we sketch straight line, all right? When we plot non-linear, not straight. Movement along is like that. It can only shift up, not shift. It can only move up or down. Move up or down like that. This is movement along. This is quantity demanded from one point to another point. One point to another point, like that. This is change in quantity demanded. All right. This is due to one factor, the price of the good itself. For example, if the price of the bun itself falls, the quantity demanded of the bun will rise. This is how you need to write, okay? If the price of the phone itself increases, the quantity demanded of the phone will decrease. Make sense? Make sense? You can see what I use. I use quantity demanded. I don't use demand because it's only price of the good itself, right? But if I give you another scenario, it will be different, right? For example, Nintendo Switch, right? If income increases, this is not price of the good itself factor. If income increases, the demand for Nintendo Switch will increase. I use demand, I don't use quantity demanded. Make sense or not? Because this factor is not price of the good itself. This factor is income. Do you get me? Do you get me? You'll say on time will tell. So please draw these two for the 4 more minutes. Go to the next page. Page 5. Go to page 42. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to my instruction. If you don't want to listen, also can. Right? Because actually, although I ask you to listen closely, listen to my instruction, doesn't matter especially. Right? Because I'm a very flexible lecturer. Right? So this one, left hand side, draw on top. Change in quantity demanded. Right hand side is a shift, like income stuff. Right hand side, draw below. Okay or not? I write for you. Right. I scared you draw wrongly. This one, what page again? On page 42, this one draw on the top diagram. Top box. Top box. Like that also. Like that you also tear. Never mind. This one draw on the bottom. Can? Initially, I want to ask you, hey, can you just go back to the recording and play the recording? Right. Okay, let me check the rest while you're drawing. Try and do it. Okay, done. I mean, like that also can draw wrong, you know? Although I do have your senior draw wrong. Next. Very long. Take the name again. That's Leah. I remember her name. You gone it is. If I remember her name is gone. Country name must write country name. That's it. Country name is not there also. Right. Country name. The rest looks okay. The units. This one must draw the shape now. Draw what will happen inside. If there's a wall, what will happen? If draw the shape inside. Check. 1 minute. Okay, short form. Time's up already. Are you done? Once you're done, you can go already. Bye bye. You keep up. Week 13, I will. Oh, later you don't have paper again? You keep first, huh? Week 13, I will ask you whether you keep the paper or not. My love. Huh?
The next class I show you the rest of the work because I haven't completed. Right? I show you